sports fans and those that don't like sports, and welcome to the 2016 Duffy's West Mock Fantasy Football Draft. Who will take home the Flores Trophy this year? For those of you who don't know me, I'm Gary, or as most know me as the Guru. Without further fanfare, let's get started with this year's mock draft. With the first overall pick, it's been determined that James will need to forfeit this pick due to him being so damn pretty and looking like that werewolf guy in Twilight. It's also been leaked that James wasn't in Orlando as previously thought during last year's draft. James was allegedly spending the day at the spa getting his hair did along with his mani and pedi. It's hard to imagine that James will ever be able to devote enough time away from the mirror to own a winning team. Give up the tough guy, smoky backroom gambler image and be who you really are, James. You're not fooling anybody. It takes a lot of work to build a winner, and it's doubtful that James will have that discipline. If James ever gets his man card back, he could be a possible contender, but without a first-round pick, this year is doubtful. The Ginsburg wire has gone crazy the last few years and has produced many unwanted results, especially for its founder and owner of the second pick, Mark Ginsburg. New technologies are being put into place to simplify the Ginsburg wire and to make it more productive for everyone. With that being said, Mark could benefit greatly by the oversimplification of the new wire. Now, if only he could draft properly, the Ginsburg wire would become less of a necessity and be less confusing for everyone. With the second pick, Mark chooses Odell Beckham, knowing that before the season begins, Beckham will be dropped in favor of the first person that Matthew Berry recommends as a sleeper pick. And Beckham will go on to be the top point performer in the league, claimed by another team owner via, you guessed it, the Ginsburg wire. This just in, this is a picture that has surfaced that Mark took while attending a Donald Trump for President rally. Who knew? At the end of the day, all that matters to Mark is that he has Sammy by his side. Next up is Corey. We've seen the evolution of Corey's fantasy football draft strategies from the early years of taking two kickers in the early rounds to the current strategies of taking valid position players instead. It still remains to be seen if Corey has evolved, but is believed he has made strong advances. With all the advances, we still have the issues of random primal acts, reliving scenes from the movie Deliverance, and the haunting sounds of Suey being screamed with the man on his back. Suey! The rub-a-dub-dub 3 men in a tub is also disturbing, but he remains a consistent owner, and if nothing else, we all can rely on him for at least one victory for each of us this season. With the third pick, Corey selects Julio Jones. Having one of the most impressive turnarounds in any given season after losing his first 5 games and renaming his team to everyone's bitch, we are to put the fear of God into his opponents late in the season. This year, he's going to be shaking up the league and himself by picking a rookie running back in the first round from The Ohio State University, Zeke Elliott. Oh, how I hate Ohio State. I guess he figures if he can't beat him, join him. On second thought, piss on Ohio State and Ezekiel. With the fourth pick, Gary takes his Gurley man. Todd Gurley, running back, St. Louis Rams. Or is it the Los Angeles Chargers? Or the LA Raiders? Or no, it is the LA Rams. Since moving up north, Justin has searched long and hard for the perfect X and O's to make his team a winner. But unfortunately, all he's been able to find are the O's. He's beaten the bushes trying to find that one pick to make a difference. After about the 6th week of last season and already out of contention, he decided to focus on the family business and began lying and comforting young cattle about their bleak futures in the coming years, basically getting them to believe that everyone believes more chicken. He also began to dabble in the Ginsburg wire to see if he could save his season. In hopes of the championship season this year, Justin takes the 5th overall pick, Jason Brown, retired center from the St. Louis Rams, back when they were still in St. Louis, who gave up a $37 million contract to ride a tractor and work the land. A real farmer's hero and a real man. With the 6th pick, Cole selects Zeke Elliott from The Ohio State University after Zeke was drenched in piss. Cole was impressed at the way Zeke and Dallas were able to shove all of his domestic abuse problems under the rug, reminding Cole a lot of how things are done in Tallahassee. And supposedly Cole really digs his belly button. This pick could drive a wedge between one of Cole's favorite king crab leg criminals, Jameis Winston. And Cole has been begging us not to reveal his draft intentions, but the honeymoon may be over between Cole and his first pick from last year. The crab legs have run dry, so now it's on to more serious crimes with Zeke. Just think how many draft decisions Cole would have if the Tallahassee police actually arrested all FSU football players involved in crimes. Most who have followed Jason's antics during the past year as league champion find it impossible that he will ever find his way again. After numerous pictures surfaced showing he had been adorned by fans, they all were determined fraudulent, just like his championship. As he paraded around with these pictures, those that knew the facts were greatly amused to know that Jason was lost in himself and would never be found again. Just look at how hard Jason worked on getting the autograph posed down. Sorry to say it was never asked for once. Living in the past, Jason will draft one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Maybe with the new draft choice on his arm, someone will actually ask him for his autograph. It's going to be a long season for the past champ. Just ask the next pick, who has never sniffed the podium again after winning dual championships in the leaner years of Duffy's fantasy football. With the 8th pick, we have Fee. It has been mentioned that Fee and Pat Riley have a couple things in common. Number one, you can't trust any trade offer coming from either one of them. And number two, neither one of them will ever win another title. It should also be pointed out that anyone who wears a hairnet under his helmet can never be trusted and should never play the game of football. And who really worries or takes seriously a fellow competitor who lays around every Monday morning jonesing for his girlfriend to get home from work instead of doing something to improve his team? Rumors are running rampant that since the competition level has reached an all-time high within the league, Fee may be selling his franchise and moving to fantasy baseball next season, since a championship in fantasy football is no longer a possibility. His 2 previous championships are equivalent to winning the Grey Cup in Canadian football based on the former competition level. Brian is a mystery as he no longer frequents any common establishments as the other owners. It's a strange phenomenon, but Brian always seems to finish where he picks in the first round. This could be a breakout year for Brian, actually, breaking the top 10 since he's picking 9th. I can only guess who will be his 9th pick, so I'll have to go with the Boston boy, Tom Brady. Which leads me to the question, how can a Boston guy be a Yankee fan? If nothing else, we can be assured that Brian will have the best team name in the league. He still may not pull out, but his couch does. Look for the token broad to move up in the first round by forfeiting the rights to her first-round pick last year, then sophomore Brad Kaya from Crime U. By moving up in the first round, this will allow her to pick number 18, Kyle Busch, before anyone else takes him. The token broad feels that speed kills, and who has more speed than Busch? I know it's confusing, but then again, having a woman in the league, no one said it was going to be easy and that everything would make sense. Now that she's discovered NASCAR, her dedication to fantasy football may be in question. Collecting lug nuts may be more interesting moving forward. Look for her to be climbing the ranks of NASCAR's fantasy live game next season. Question is, who would want to inherit the mess of the team that she'll leave behind? Since Brett will be drafting his own team this year after the bitter breakup between him and Marcelo, rumors say Brett didn't like the casual look Marcelo displayed in public. There have been whispers that in following what Marcelo did last year and his successful draft, Brett will be taking the best football player on the planet, Lionel Messi. After dominating the regular season, it became very clear in the playoffs that his team needed something extra. Messi could be that something extra, giving his team much needed speed on offense. Or if he needs someone with a little more of a mean streak, he could go with Hope Solo. The next pick is a very troubling pick and very difficult to forecast. It's very hard to get a feeling for someone's emotions and thoughts after they have lost the love of their life. In Josh's case, Peyton Manning. It's hard to imagine that Josh's life will go on without Peyton, but it must, and it will. But I make my living providing accurate mock draft information, and I must assume that in times of emotional stress, you take what is closest to you, and that would be Austin Smith, pitcher, Park Vista High School, or Alfred Morris, running back from Homer University. Branch out for your comfort zone, Josh. You may draft a winner one day if you do. And not to worry, Josh, you'll always have Peyton looking down on you upon everything to make sure that you will be all right. And that wraps up this year's mock fantasy draft for Duffy's West. We'll see you all tomorrow.